welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to take a step back, do a little skincare routine with you guys and chat about how I cleared up my skin and just my skin journey in general. Before we start, if you guys aren't already subscribed, I would love to have you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you like my skincare videos, please give it a thumbs up so I know you guys are interested in skincare and want to see more videos like this. But let's go ahead and get started. I always point the wrong way. I think it's this way. Let's get started. In today's skincare routine, I'm going to be chatting about Edible Beauty, which is available at Sephora. I wanted to do this review before the VIB sale ends, so if you guys were curious about anything, it would be a great time to pick them up. And Edible Beauty was kind enough to sponsor today's video, so thank you to them, and of course thank you to you guys for supporting me. But let's get into my skincare routine. Guys, before we hop into the skincare, I'm just going to do a brief little overview of the brand. So the name of the brand, as I mentioned, is called Edible Beauty. They're sold on Sephora, which is why I thought the timing of this video would be perfect. Since the sale, the VIB sale, is still going on. I believe it's ending tomorrow for VIBs. I'm not sure for the other two tiers. I think the Rouge extends a little bit later. Edible Beauty is vegan and cruelty-free. They're also Australian made. They use a lot of native Australian ingredients. And they're called Edible Beauty because the ingredients essentially are pure enough to eat. So if you're into really clean, pure skincare, I think you're gonna love this brand. And I've been testing these products for over a month now because I really want to get a really good feel for them so I can give you guys a good review in case you want to pick anything up in the Sephora sale. So let's get started. So this is the product that I've already used, but it's called their Bella Phrase, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Cleansing Milk. This is such a gorgeous milky cleanser. Milky cleansers are definitely my favorite type of cleansers. So it comes out almost looking like a lotion, and it just takes off makeup so nice, and the texture is really luxurious feeling. It is a coconut milk based cleanser. I find this does a really great job at removing makeup, but it's also a perfect morning cleanse because it is that super milky, gentle texture, which is, like I said, my favorite in cleansers. It also does have apple and strawberry extract, so it has some brightening properties in it as well. It smells like lime. All of these products, they each have their own smell. All of them are incredible. I don't think I've had skincare that smells this good, but it smells good. It's also really effective, which is of course important to me. I try so many skincare products, so if I try something and it's not effective, I really just move on from it. But I have been enjoying this. If you have more oily skin and want something like more gel-like, this is definitely milky and more of like if you wanted to remove your makeup with it. And just for reference, I do have normal to combo skin, more on the combo side the majority of the time. So in the winter, it's usually the worst because I have dry patches, but I also get really oily. My skin usually gets a little bit better in the summer. It's more of just like I have normal to oily skin at that point. I am also very acne prone. You guys probably already know that if you watch my videos, mostly on my chin area here, but it has been clearing up. I will tell you guys how I figured that out and how I cleared it up a little bit later on in the video, but so glad that it has because now I can focus on just more dark spots instead of just having to focus on how do I get rid of acne. I do still have a lot of redness, and texture is still a big problem for me. I feel like that's just how my skin is. I have textured skin. Not much I can do about it, but anyway, let's move on to the next product. Next up, I have two serums. I did already mention this first one in my Sephora recommendations video because I've just been enjoying it so much. It is the Turmeric Beauty Latte Clear and Brighten. I had seen this on Sephora and was really curious about it because I do have a lot of dark spots, one of my main skin concerns. Of course, turmeric is a great anti-inflammatory and redness reducing ingredient. The texture of this serum is like a classic bouncy hyaluronic-ish type of serum. This layers so well. I don't get any pilling with it, which is one of my necessities for skincare. I'm gonna take a little bit and apply this. I like to focus this on my chin where I have the most dark marks, and then just spread it on the rest of my face. This smooths over the skin so nicely. I really just enjoy the texture of this. It doesn't really like dry sticky either like a lot of hyaluronic feeling serums do. Another ingredient that the serum has is snow mushroom, which is a ingredient I'm familiar with. Similar to hyaluronic acid where it attracts a lot of water into your skin, I think it actually attracts more than hyaluronic acid does. In the serums I've used previously that has an ingredient, I've loved it. I feel like it's a really plumping ingredient And I've noticed that with this one so far too. It also has some licorice in it, which is a really great antioxidant for the skin. I think it also inhibits your melanin production, so it stops dark spots essentially. I would say that this is my #1 pick from all of these products I tried. I've just really fallen in love with it. Fit really nicely into my routine, and I have seen visible results in my skin so far. So if you do have dark spots, acne, similar skin to mine, I think you would enjoy this one. And the next step is called the Exotic Goddess Ageless Serum with a burst of kakadu. I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, but I always pronounce it like that. Anyway, like it mentions, it does have the kakadu plum, which I'm also familiar with. I've tried some other Australian brands that use that ingredient. It's the highest natural form of vitamin C, I believe, so it's just really potent if you have skin similar to mine, dark spots. You just need overall brightening. That ingredient is great, and then also has hyaluronic acid in it, which we all know and love, I think. I know I love it and know it. Do you guys? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Turmeric Beauty Latte Serum. It smells like a little bit like turmeric, but this one I feel like it has the least scent out of all the products. So onto this serum, it has a similar texture to the turmeric serum. I feel like this one's, it's a little bit thicker and it feels more like it is just a hyaluronic acid based serum. I'm going to put this one on as well. Another serum that I think just goes so well on my skin and layers well. It doesn't pill. It just feels really plumping and doesn't dry to have any sticky finish. So I find that these products really work both night and during the day too. Sometimes skincare products can be tricky under makeup with pilling and just texture and all that, but I've had good experiences with these so far. So my skin is finally clearing up. You guys may have noticed. It's been a long journey, but I think I finally figured out what was triggering it. It is always on my chin. So if you look at like face mapping, which is usually, it depends on where you get the acne on your face, it can tell you what an underlying health issue would be. So usually with your chin, I believe lower cheeks as well, it's either hormonal. So I would get them all the time, not just like once a month. I was getting them all the time, no matter what products I used either. Like I was using very intense acne treatments and it would help, but they would just always come back, which is really frustrating. And then the other issue is digestive, which I kind of had written off. I didn't think it was an issue for me because I am already vegan. I eat very healthy, I believe, but I was still getting the same issues. And then just recently I started to have some pretty crazy stomach issues where just after everything I ate, my stomach would hurt so bad, like intense nausea, just indigestion, like I felt like crap all the time. And it's kind of a funny story. I was watching Chopped Junior. Great show. I love watching Chopped. There's a girl on the show that said she was having stomach issues as well. And then she went dairy and gluten free and they got better. And of course I'm already dairy free because I do eat vegan. And then I heard that and I was like, gluten. I was like, why haven't I ever like processed that as something that could be causing that issue and my skin issue? So the next day I tried it and I literally felt 100 times better. Still, I feel like I still have some stomach problems. They're definitely way better than they were. So I think that was definitely a trigger for me. I don't know if I'm like intolerant or sensitive. I haven't been like tested for it, but I just eliminated that and I felt so much better. And also my skin has cleared up. So I definitely think that was something that was impacting me. So thankfully I've been feeling better and I think I figured out my skin issues and I haven't had the same amount of breakouts that I was frequently having in the past. Everyone's skin is different. I would say just like experiment with things. That was honestly how I was doing it. I was like, okay, try. I was taking like hormone balancing supplements, natural one. Helped a little bit, wasn't really working. Acne products were helping a little bit, but it was still just frequently occurring. If you guys have a similar issue to me, maybe try that out. It's worth a go. If it doesn't work, you could always just go back. But I think it's because I had those stomach issues. It was really helped me to connect it and my skin is much clearer now. If you guys are sensitive or intolerant to gluten or just don't eat it, let me know like your favorite recommendations below. Know your favorite foods, your favorite brands, anything in the comments below. I would love to hear your recommendations. But let's go ahead and move on to the next step of our skincare routine, which is going to be the Vanilla Silk Hydrating Lotion. This, smells like Fruit Loops. It has cocoa butter, shea butter, and then camellia seed oil. So it is a very moisturizing product. The texture almost looks like the cleanser. It sinks into the skin really nicely though and has a nice cushion to it, if that makes sense. It just feels like it locks everything in. I'm just gonna take some between my fingers, press this into my skin. I feel like this is the best smelling product I've ever used. It smells like Fruit Loops, but almost like specifically the yellow Fruit Loops, like the lemon ones. Really nice. And none of these are like, they're not really like an artificial fragrance. You can tell they're natural. It's not something overbearing, and it doesn't really linger on the skin too much either. And I really like this moisturizer for under makeup because it's thick enough to lock in your skincare, but as you can tell, like, it doesn't leave a very greasy finish, which I was kind of scared of looking at the ingredients because it does have that shea butter and cocoa butter, which tend to be just really, not necessarily heavy on the skin, but they are just an intense moisturizing ingredient. But I was really surprised by the texture of it and the finish of it, and it really makes my makeup go on nicely. Even though I do have more combo skin, I really like the heaviness of this moisturizer. Not that it's heavy, I just like the amount of moisture that it gives to my skin. If you have really oily skin or you just prefer like a gel texture, I don't think you would like this because it is just more of a classic cream texture, but I find that it blends really well into the skin and sinks in. It doesn't really sit on top of the skin too much either. I really love rubbing in the excess onto my hands too. The texture of this, it's almost like a little bit slippery, which I think is also part of why it goes so well under makeup, but not really any product that I'm specifically not liking so far. They have all worked well for my skin, and that's really all I can ask for. Next up is a little additional product, something else I was super excited to try. It's their Sleeping Beauty Purifying Mask, which comes in this little jar here. And this has like the nicest texture to it. It's kind of hard to describe. It has the texture of a cream, but it feels lighter than the vanilla hydrating lotion. The reason that this is purifying because it does have pink clay on it. Now they recommend that after cleansing, toning, and serum prior to sleep, you just apply this. Wake up the next day, you don't have to remove it or anything, and then used 2 to 3 times weekly. So how I use this is in place of my nightly moisturizer, so I would do all the other serums and then just put this on top. If you have dry skin, you might want to layer this. I feel like it's not super moisturizing, but it did give enough moisture to my skin where I feel like I didn't need to add anything to it. I'm actually going to put a little bit on today. I feel like you can use this more than just a sleeping mask. I use this a lot under makeup. It almost has like a little bit of a glow to it. This is one of the products out of everything I find that pills on me depending on what I use it with. If I use it at night, if I press it in, it's usually fine, but if I do use it during the morning, I usually won't use anything underneath or just like the turmeric serum because I know it doesn't pill. Press it into my skin and it's fine. But if you try to use like a hyaluronic serum or anything more of that texture, you might have some problems with pilling. I have experienced that a little bit. I just have to be careful of what I use it with. But other than that, I really like how my skin looks overnight when I wake up. And I've had this on really just nice and balanced. It doesn't leave any sort of like, again, not a super heavy product. I really like how the moisturizers do give my skin enough moisture, but they don't feel or look heavy or like are super greasy. Alright guys, so that was my last step for my Edible Beauty skincare routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you like seeing more skincare related video. That would be fun to review these products for you guys. They are available at Sephora. If you want to check them out, I will have them linked below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.